But the Migos of the debate will be rolling shit.
The best camera is the one that doesn't get in the way of the ride. And in 2026, that tiny camera market has become incredibly competitive. So in this video, I'm putting the DJI Osmo Nano head-to-head against the Insta360 Go Ultra to see which camera is the best for motorcycle content. But first, a quick disclaimer, this video is sponsored by DJI and they did send me the Osmo Nano to review. However, I did purchase the Insta360 Go Ultra with my own money so that I can do a true side-by-side comparison. And if you've watched my videos, you know I use a bunch of different cameras from both of these brands. So as always, I'll be laying out all the facts and giving you guys my real thoughts on how they perform for daily vlogs and high action motorcycle content. Now, the reason why these cameras are so appealing is their size. They're small but mighty and both offering amazing 4K resolution. The Go Ultra features a slightly larger sensor. And while those two numbers compared to each other look close on paper, the real magic of the Osmo Nano is that it offers 13.5 stops of high dynamic range. DJI is also bringing their 10-bit D-Log-M color profile to this tiny camera body. For cinematic content, that means over 1 billion colors, compared to the 8-bit limit on the Insta360 Go Ultra. Now, let's talk size and weight. When you look at the cameras alone and connected to their docks, the Osmo Nano is slightly smaller and lighter. Both cameras are magnetic, which is awesome for riders. You can place these in the weirdest, most interesting spots for some creative B-roll. I also love all the accessories they both come with. Even if you aren't riding, they're really fun and versatile cameras for lifestyle vlogs and unique POV shots. But I noticed two major things during my real-world testing. One is stability. The Osmo Nano has a dual-sided magnetic design compared to the rounded Go Ultra, which is only magnetic on the backside. Number two is the glove test. For us riders wearing motorcycle gloves, it's much easier to pop the DJI camera off its dock. The Insta360 housing is a little tricky, even without gloves. The magnet is so strong, and I'm not really quite sure where to grab it to remove it. It isn't a huge deal, but I did notice I had to be extra careful. Now, let's look at both of their housings. The DJI Osmo Nano has a multifunctional vision dock that serves as a display, a remote trigger, and a high-speed file transfer hub. You can attach the camera in both directions, and it's compatible with the Osmo Action accessory ecosystem. This means I can swap the same mounts between my Nano and my larger action cameras seamlessly. The Go Ultra connects only to the front, but it has a nice flip screen so you can see your frame. And Insta360 offers a wide variety of accessories to buy. They have a fun mount for literally everything. However, it can be a bit frustrating because the mounting isn't always universal. You often need specific mounts for different cameras like the Go series versus the X series or the Ace series, which means your gear bag can get a little crowded with the separate attachments. But one of my favorite things about the DJI Osmo Nano is its built-in storage. You can choose between the 64GB or 128GB, while for the Go Ultra, you'll need to buy a separate SD card in order to get the camera to work. When you factor that in, the price is pretty impressive. The Osmo Nano starts around $389, while the Go Ultra is $449. As someone who's always bringing backup SD cards for maximum storage, having that internal storage with the DJI camera as a safety net is so convenient. I'm going to include a few more specs here between the two cameras before we get into a more detailed comparison. For motorcycle riding and other action sports, stabilization is super important, so here are the stabilization specs to compare. Additionally, both of these cameras come with set video modes, and they both have their own version of a night mode. The DJI Osmo Nano has their super night mode, and Insta360 Go Ultra has their pure video mode. Now, with most of the specs out of the way, let's take these out on the road. I shot both at 4K 60 frames per second, 16:9 for riding, and 4K 30 frames per second, 16:9, and some at 4:3 for walking vlogs and POV shots. I'll let the side-by-side comparisons speak for themselves. And I shot both of them in their standard color mode so that you can compare. I found that the DJI Osmo Nano footage looked more realistic for the colors, and the Insta360 Go Ultra automatically had a little bit more saturation and brightness. And of course, when you go to the edit, you can adjust these colors to your liking, or you can choose to shoot in both of the camera's log settings so that you can color grade after. You can also see a really good comparison of the dynamic range here and how each camera handles shadows and really bright sunlight. Both of the cameras are waterproof up to 10 meters, but just the cameras themselves, which is great for creative underwater shots or if you get caught riding in the rain. The camera housing and docks are not waterproof, but they are water resistant. For battery life, the DJI Osmo Nano claims 90 minutes for the camera and 200 minutes with the dock, whereas the Insta360 lists only 70 minutes for the camera and 200 minutes with the dock. The Insta360 Go Ultra did die on me first when I was out recording, and so according to the specs online, that was pretty accurate. For long commutes, you'll probably need to dock and charge these cameras, so I would say these are best to use for shorter rides. And when I was out shooting content for this video, I was filming for hours, so I had to go home, offload the footage, and charge the cameras, and then go back out for evening and night riding. So the good thing is that both of these cameras charge pretty quick, and I found that the Osmo Nano had faster export times. And finally, sound. The Osmo Nano has dual mic connection, so I can put one mic by my exhaust for the bike sounds, and another in my helmet for voice commentary. The Go Ultra only supports one mic at a time, but I had the DJI Mic Mini and the Insta360 Mic Air to test out and compare, so let's jump into this clip so you can hear the difference. Hello? Is this recording? Yes, okay. So I have both of the microphones in my helmet right now, and we're going to see if, we're just gonna compare the sound of both cameras. I have them mounted on the front of my bike, so I'm gonna ride around a bit, and then I'll do some walking around and talking. This is gonna be what the DJI Osmo sounds like connected to the Mic Mini, and this is what the Insta360 Go Ultra sounds like connected to the Mic Air. The only thing that I'm realizing for like motorcycle stuff, I ride for long periods of time, and sometimes I like to just press record and have it recording. The battery life isn't like the longest, right? But I am connecting them to the main units and charging them and then doing it in little portions like that. So that's been good. They're both right now 94% on the Insta360, and then on the camera it's at 40%. And DJI, the unit has 94%, and then the camera has 43. So that's where we're at so far. I have both the cameras shooting in the standard color modes. Right now they're at 4K, 60 frames per second, and I have them set to 16:9. Potholes here. That was probably one of the deepest ones that I rode my bike through. I didn't even see it. As you can hear, that DJI Mic Mini integration on the Osmo Nano is a serious level up for motovloggers. It's the difference between having usable audio and having a professional dual track setup that separates your voice from the bike. But I want to give credit where it's due. Both of these cameras have pretty impressive internal mic arrays designed to fight wind noise. If you're just riding around the neighborhood at lower speeds without an external mic, both cameras do a great job of filtering out that harsh noise so your voice stays clear. And don't count out the Insta360 Go Ultra. It's still a fantastic versatile choice. While it doesn't support that dual mic in-camera setup like the DJI, it can Bluetooth connect to a wide variety of external mics, including some DJI mics or even your AirPods. So you still have plenty of wireless options, you just have to choose which single source is the most important for that specific shot. So, overall, what do you guys think? If you want the ultimate creative playground with AI editing and a mount for every possible angle, the Insta360 Go Ultra is a great choice. But if you're looking for an approachable, professional workflow with 10-bit D-Log for color grading and a more robust audio setup for motovlogging, the DJI Osmo Nano is the camera I'd reach for. I've put the links for both cameras and the mic setups in the description box below for you to check out. But I want to hear from you. Are you choosing the DJI Osmo Nano or the Insta360 Go Ultra? I hope this video comparison was helpful, and at the end of the day, the best camera is the one you'll actually want to take with you on the ride, whether you need something quick and easy for the moment or a powerhouse that gives you full creative control on every color and sound in post-production. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.